Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Today is episode 133. We will be planning fall projects. I am not ready to cut that little one yet. I'm not ready. I'm like, nope, not ready. Not 100% yet. As you can see, I have finished my ribbed wrap. I don't know what I'm going to call this, so if you have a suggestion for the name, please feel free to leave it as a comment. I am going to be releasing this pattern in my size only. I'm also going to release my DK weight top, and I know I gave you my worsted weight, I think, in one of my episodes, but I'm going to release both of these free, just in my size, the size I made, with some explanations of how it's constructed and where you're going to want to do things to make it custom fit you. Okay. Okay, let's start with where we're starting. I'm going to start with a Ripley update because we did get the call yesterday that the results of her tumor were back. However, we didn't actually get results because they couldn't tell. Okay, she has sarcoma, which is cancer, and it's a soft tissue cancer. So hers, it's right on her leg, right in the muscle of her leg by her shoulder. Okay, so it would be like right here, like right on the back, that fatty part of your arm. Okay. That's where hers is. And it's either, from what I understand, I'm not a medical professional, I don't understand a lot of the big medical jargon words, I don't understand them. So it's either just a tumor that could keep growing back that is going to be right here, or it could be systemic and be in her body. They couldn't, I think that's what the test was supposed to tell us, but it didn't. And she just said they couldn't tell, the lab could not tell the difference, and we needed to do a different test that was going to cost $600. And we opted not to do that because, number one, if Ripley's going to die of cancer, she's going to die of cancer. I don't feel like I need to know what kind it is because it doesn't make any difference to me what kind it is. And two, I don't know if either of those, she said her next step would be to refer us to oncology, which is quite a few hours away by car. And Rippy is agoraphobic like me. She does not like to leave the house. She won't even go on walks around the neighborhood anymore. Now that Dex is gone and she doesn't have her buddy, she won't do it. You show her collar and leash and she freaks out. Like she just does not want to go anywhere. And getting her to the vet to get the tumor removed was ridiculous. She was terrified. And then we picked her up and she was crying and whining and she was just ridiculous the whole way home. And thankfully it's like I think it's 3 minutes. We're that close to the vet. We have to be. But thankfully, because we followed this vet around for 10 years because Rippy is not afraid of her. And she's a great woman. So we've seen her at like I think 3 different places, and she's finally really close to us. So it's not that, it should not be so hard to get Rippy there, but it still is. So because Rippy has such fears and she is 10 years old, we've decided that we're not going to do chemo. We're not going to go that route of treatment. Mostly because I don't think she could handle it. And I don't want to, what are we keeping her alive for, to stress her out? You know, like it doesn't seem fair to me where she's more than happy to be in this room, staring out the window, going outside, rolling around in the grass. This is what she did all day yesterday, was go outside and roll in the grass. Sir! So that is how I yell at my animals when they're doing something wrong. I yell sir or ma'am or madam sometimes. He found the handle, the wire handle of a fly swatter, which I got out because Bree was hunting a fly the other day in the house, and it was going through all the house, and I wanted to knock it down so she could get it more easily. I don't know if she ever got it. I don't know whatever happened to it. Anyway, Rippy has had anxiety since we got her. If you've heard me talk about bringing her home from the shelter, when I went to see her at the shelter, she flipped over on her back and peed herself, and that is why I brought her home. And she has just been awful to deal with ever since. And it's not her fault. It's not her fault. That's just how she is and the trauma that she experienced as a baby. And I wanted to protect her as much as I can, and that's what we've done, is protect her as much as we can. And that means that she doesn't have a normal life, and she doesn't do things that other dogs do because she has no interest. She doesn't want to go anywhere. And she's great with, she loves people, she loves little dogs, and she's happy where she's at. And I don't know if we did the right thing by not forcing. It just seemed whenever we tried to train her more, she would like get more anxious. And I kind of got a little overprotective and said, just leave her. She's fine. If she's not hurting anyone and she's okay, then what's the point? What's the point? I don't know what the point is. Anyway, we have to check every 6 months, and we have to watch for the tumor to come back. So I guess we're living life with her 6 months at a time. I don't know how we go forward from here at all. I have no idea. No clue. I guess we're going to experience both kinds of cancer. We're going to experience the fast, aggressive cancer that took Dex down in 5 days, and we're getting the slower cancer that is going to be unknowable with Ripley. Which is weird because Deckard really liked to go out and see people and do things, and we wanted to do a bucket list with him, but he was too sick. We couldn't. And Rippy, we have the opportunity to do a bucket list, and I guarantee you she's like, no thanks, guys, let's just hang here. So that's what we're gonna do. Chief Brody is still in a belly band, although it hasn't been 6 weeks. I was reading that it takes 6 weeks after a neuter for all the testosterone to be out of their bloodstream, or what, I don't know exactly what I read. So I'm committed to keeping this belly band on through the 6 weeks, and then I'd like to try really focusing on the training. The reason I don't focus on the training beforehand is, number one, if this is there's a two-part here, because part of it is behavioral, because he's 2 or 3 now and has went his life not being neutered and marking. And so that's the behavioral. And the other half is hormonal, which he has no control over. So I don't like, when I have fosters especially, I don't like to ask anything of them. I don't want them to have to do anything. I want them to just be calm and get used to being fed on a schedule, going out on a schedule, and feeling safe. Like, that's my goal here. And he's a pretty well-rounded dog already. So really the only issue I have with him besides his recall is terrible, but that's not a surprise. Recall is always terrible in dogs. And I want to teach him leave it and drop it, because those are the three: recall, leave it, drop it are like the three main. And if you want a good trainer, go to, well, you're already on YouTube, Google or YouTube search Zach George and whatever your issue is, and I guarantee you he has something. And he's fantastic. He does he does positive reinforcement training, which is what we do with all of our dogs. So when you see that all of our animals, when you see that all of our animals are happy and getting along, it's because of that. I guarantee you, it's because of that. No one's afraid. No one is above another one, and they all have their own personalities, and everyone just gets along. I had the 3 little dogs in the stroller yesterday and took them for a stroll. We're going to do, if the rain holds off, we're going to take another walk today, and they had a ball. It was hilarious. I'll put a picture on my Instagram if you want to see. So that's how life is going right now. I am seeing a few more doctors. I saw one on Monday. I'm seeing another one Friday because this place had a cancellation. And then I'm seeing a swallow specialist, maybe, depending on what happens next Thursday when I see another doctor. And I got a jury summons, which really made me angry because, you know me, I would love to go sit under. I would love it. But I have this problem called agoraphobia where I can't leave my house, and I have all these pain conditions, and I have chronic fatigue, and I have fibromyalgia. And I'm like, my husband was like all excited to give it to me in the mail, you know, because it comes in the mail. And I'm like, oh man, that would be so fun. And he's like, why can't you do it? And I'm like listing off the things. And then we were watching the news, and they were talking about a grand jury sitting there for 4 hours, and I'm like, could you see me sitting there for 4 hours? Like, I would physically not be able to sit somewhere for 4 hours. I would be in so much pain. So I have to go online and fill out their thing and then say why I can't go. But I really do want to. I wish I could. I wish I was. Isn't that the dumbest thing? I wish I was healthy enough for jury duty, because I think it would be fun. Anyway, welcome to my knitting channel. Let's get to the knitting content. I say, what I'm wearing is my finished object that I have not named yet. It is so soft. Oh my goodness, it's so soft. So let me tell you what I did, and then I'll get into what my plans are, okay? And then I'm going to go into whips and new cast-ons. But I want to do the finished one first because it works into my whips and my new cast-ons. So the yarn I used is Universal Yarn Supreme, Cotton Supreme DK in mint. I don't know what I don't have the tag because I'm an idiot and I didn't bring it. So okay, I'll show it to you first. Quiet, bud. Okay, so the biggest change I made was 2x2 ribbing. And I did that because my worsted knit top and my DK knit top are both in double 2x2 ribbing. So I worked this off the numbers for the worsted weight. Even though this is technically DK, it is 230 yards per 100 grams, which to me, with that yardage, I'm going to get further with the worsted than the DK. However, let me tell you this. This top took only one 0.72 skeins, so 172 grams, and I had 300, so that's just over half. So I probably could, if I worked out the yardage of like the difference between this top and this top, the difference of the yardage I used, okay? Because this is the worsted weight one, and this I did in worsted weight. I mean, I did worsted weight gauge. Now, this is Cascade 220. This is Peruvian Highland wool, so it behaves a whole lot differently than this cotton. But we'll get to that later. So this was a lot of the inspiration for this, with my knowing what size I needed to do and stuff like that. However, and the weave is open. It's got nice drape, maybe a little too drapey. I could probably, if this only took 172 and I have 3, I could probably make it to these specifications instead, which would be a smaller needle and more stitches. But having that much, why is I knew I should have done my nose thing. See if I have a lozenge. I know I could probably redo it in this. So I'm debating. And we'll get to how I'm going to figure that out in a second. So it's constructed top down. So you construct the back piece first. This back rectangle. Okay? And then you work it down to where you're going to meet the underarm. And then you construct these right off of it. Right off. So this is my cast on edge right here. Then these come down. And then when they hit here, I join. But I think this is a little too big of a join. So I have to fix that. Also, after you wear this for a while, the top just flies open. Like, it's really hilarious. So here's what I'm going to do. So this is in, I guess, new cast-ons. I don't know. This is just going to be all over the place today. So what I decided first, I took some of the leftovers because I have like 120 something left over, right? Well, I need about 60 for a DK knit top. Now this yardage is different. This is 230 instead of 266, so I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to use, but we'll see. So I am about halfway through the end ribbing. I should have been done with this, but I didn't do any work this weekend at all because remember, last week I had Rippy's tumor removal at the beginning of the week on a Monday, and then Friday I had a dentist fillings, 2 fillings, and then I got there and my dentist wasn't even there. It was his dad, who was a nice guy but doesn't know that I'm a weirdo. You know what I mean? If you're not a weirdo, you don't know, but like then it's like it's harder to not be a weirdo when this person doesn't know you're a weirdo. But the coolest thing was that my hygienist, who I love to death, I have never had a hygienist be so easy with me, just so easy. And she uses a special tool that uses water, so she's not scraping me for an hour. Like, I cannot handle that. I cannot handle the sound of it. I can't handle the feel of it, the vibration of it in my skull. I can't handle it. So she has this thing that does it but uses water, so it's super fast. I don't know what it is, but like I feel like I'm there for 10 minutes and it's so easy. It's so easy. And she came out, and before she got her next thing, she saw me there and she was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know." And they had a fish tank that has the Finding Nemo fish in it. And I'm like, "I never noticed this." And she kept Finding Nemo. She's like, "Yeah." So Then she was like, "Oh, we'll have fun today," and I'm like, I admire your optimism. And then she came when she was done and she was leaving. She came by to say she's checked in on me. So I just absolutely, and she's a young girl, so I really appreciated that she knows me, and it really made me feel special and got me through that appointment, to be honest. I will have to thank her when I see her again. But anyway, what was I talking about? Right, so I took last week off for that. And then this Monday I had an appointment. I was very stressed out. So the weekend I didn't even do anything. I did not do one thing. I was, I think, on my coloring app like the whole time because my brain could not be bothered to do anything else. So anyway, I decided to do this, and instead of doing it worsted weight, because it's 230, so it's closer to worsted weight than DK. Because it's a cotton, it doesn't work. It's a little bit holier. So I decided to work up, this is going to be cropped one. I'm going to work it up to be the DK version. Does that make sense? So I'm halfway through the ribbing. It's only 30 rounds. I'm at like 12, I think. So this is almost done. I would have had it done, but I'm ridiculous. So we get a little bit of a tighter weave through here, which doesn't matter because this is so light. The nips are going to show through anyway. But I'm probably going to wear it to sleep in. I love sleeping in cotton because, you get the night sweats now. Menopause is the worst. Anyway, I'm sure you know, and if you don't know, you'll find out, and no one will help you with anything. It's ridiculous. So, I'm zinging today. What was I talking about? Now, I don't have enough to make a full one of these because this made 172, and I need 150 of this. But it's also shorter yardage than DK, so I would probably need more than that. I'm not sure. Because the DKs that I have more yardage than 230. Okay? So typically when I get 230, I make it worsted, and it's fine. But because this is cotton like alpaca, I typically have to go down more needle sizes to get gauge. And I wanted this to not be open because it's, this can be open more open because I'm going to be wearing something under it. But this is my first line of defense. I don't want that see-through. But this yarn is so soft. I just can't even with it. I can't wait to have this done and wear it. And now the reason I did not start the gray one of these, I actually did start the back and then I cut it, and then I freaked out because I was wearing this for a few days and I was like, this armhole got really, really long. And I'm not really concerned with how far down, because I made the crossover right where my under boob is, right? So I wanted it to be there. That just felt like the natural place. And I don't know if I need to go over more. Do you know what I mean? Use more stitches to cross over. I haven't decided yet. So this is what I did decide. Okay. I ordered some Cascade 220. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remake this specific top that I made, that is my own design, is not at all designed like the Jessie made. And I did the cross front. I didn't even take her numbers because I put it in 2x2 ribbing, so it's nothing like hers. I'm going to redo it in Cascade 220, and here's why. Because I know how this fits me. And what I love about having wool ones and cotton ones is the wool ones fit great. They fit so well, like a glove. It's so great. And then this, the cotton, is like a relaxed fit. So on your bloaty days, or where you maybe don't want anything hugging you that tight, because I like tighter clothes. But when I'm in pain, I like this more relaxed fit of the cotton. And I feel like with this, the reason that this relaxed fit fits so well is because this fits so well. So if I remake this in a fiber I am comfortable with, that I know how to work, that I've made 30 and 30, like 60 tops I've made out of this crap. Well, not this specifically. Of this, I think I have like half a dozen at least. I have at least 6, I'm pretty sure. Yellow, mint, this, a green, black, purple, however many that is. So I just ordered some of this to make this. And that will give me a better feel of the fit I'm going for. And then I'm hoping to then take the gray Cotton Supreme DK in gray and work it whatever specs that this works up in this. Okay? Because I want to make sure I get this armhole right, because this armhole keeps getting bigger and bigger. I like slim fit and relaxed fit. So I'm going to redo this in this wool. And then we'll redo that in this. But I think because I'm not familiar with working with cotton at all, especially designing with cotton, it stretches out so much after that I feel like I would do better if I designed it using the Cascade 220 that I am familiar with and how it works, and I understand that. And it's also the same gauge as my tops because I'm using the same needles in the round, same thing. So that's going to be it's supposed to get here Saturday. I'm planning on doing it immediately. I'm planning on starting it immediately once it gets here. So you won't see it, but I'm pretty sure I bought this color because this is my favorite color. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be this color. I did get a purple though for something else entirely. My other new cast on, now I do still have the bamboo pop sock hat. The hat, I still have the hat going. I just haven't worked on it. Now, I'm going to finish that top today, and it's Wednesday, which means Thursday, Friday, before Saturday gets here. What am I going to do? I decided Tina's Twisted Fibers in Gray Heart, 100% superwash merino, fingering, 490 yards. Ribbed to your measure. Oh goodness. Bye. I know I have it in here somewhere. Lacey Williamson, $7 on Ravelry. So actually today I'll be starting it because 12 rows of ribbing is nothing in worsted weight. So I'll be starting it with this today. Okay, so that's going to be my new cast on. I'm going to work on that until Saturday when my yarn gets here, and we'll start this in wool. Sound good? Okay, then. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week. Will be the wool version of this. Wool. The Peruvian Highland wool version of this. I almost was going to do it in the Blue Sky wool stock worsted because you know that's my favorite. But that's a DK, and I'm like, crap, I don't want to make a DK I want to do worsted first. But then I was thinking, what if I don't like these in cotton? Then I'll just make my regular tops in the cotton. I can wear these as these tops. It's fine. And with 3, I can get 2 of these, so it'll be great. I'm not even worried about it. For fall, I have a couple of big items that I want to make. The first one I'm not entirely sure I want to do. This is called the Dreamy Duster Cardi. It is a crochet pattern. It is by Keep Calm and Crochet on Etsy, and it is $7.67. Be quiet, jerks. So it's basically a giant granny square duster, like to the floor, long sleeves. That one is obviously rainbow, which no thanks. Here's a picture of kind of the front. And she has a tie, like a robe. I like the idea of this. It's pieced. Number 1, it's pieced. So that's 2 fronts, back, sleeves. Not bad, it's granny squared, but what I would do is linked DCs instead. I would do linked DCs and I wouldn't do granny square. I would just do solid, like do solid granny, but then do linked DCs instead. My problem is how heavy that's going to be, because it would have to be wool, right? And so I'm still on the fence about that. I'm on the fence. I really like the look of it, and I'm not sure how heavy it would be. And if it would be too heavy, I wouldn't like it. And then if I want a duster, I'm probably better off just buying a robe, like a fleece one, like I have already, that I wear all the time when I'm cold, right? I don't know. I'm thinking about it, because that's like wearing a blanket, a wool blanket. And then I'm like, would I make it out of wool? I would probably go with Willow Yarns Daily Black. And I mean, I'd have to figure out which yarn I could get the cheapest and for the most, and then just dye it black. If I got a dye it black, who cares? No big deal. You sit it in a bucket. I mean, you sit it in a stock pot and leave it, and it's fine. Like it's not a lot of labor for me to dye black yarn, because you don't have to be there constantly looking at it. So that's something that I'm considering, but I would not do granny square. I would do link DCs, because then you get a more of a closed fabric, and I think it produces a thinner fabric. Although I'm not crazy about crochet wearables, and while I like the idea of a duster, do I really want a wool one? Do I? I mean, it would be warm. Would I wear it inside? Would I wear it outside? Probably wear it outside to walk the dogs. I don't know. I gotta just figure out how much yardage, and if I could use the black and the black and green that I used for my blanket cardigan that I frogged. I'll have to see how much of that I have, and if I could use that, maybe. I don't know. I gotta look at some stuff and figure out what I want to do. The other thing I'm going to do, Harvest by Tin Can Knits. I've showed you this 800 times. It is free. It is a stockinette cardigan. but I have special things to close it, special fasteners to close it. It's stuck in it with a garter, like button band, but it's not a button band. And you do the button band while you're doing the whole other this whole other. Anyway, my internet is crappy today. So you do the button band at the same time you're doing it's raglan sleeve top down. You're doing that at the same time you're doing everything else. And then I would have a cardigan to throw on like this or something else. I don't know which yarn I would make it out of because I don't know what yarns I have available just yet. Not sure. But I'm thinking because I have that Barocco that is like acrylic blend, I'd probably do that just because I don't want to use the good yarn I have set aside. If I don't like it, I'll make something else out of it. The other thing I want to do is the Ballet Wrap Top by Alexandra Tavel. However, now this has this is $7.50 for the PDF, the ad-free PDF, or it is free on her website. It's all on the Ravelry page, which I will link below as always. I'm trying to find a good picture. Why is my internet being crappy? Now the reason I want to do this is, I'll show you a half picture. This is a top-down raglan with a sleeve wrap top that goes all the way around and ties. However, hear me out. The way this is constructed is, I told you, back piece, front piece. And I was thinking, what if I wanted to put long sleeves on this? Because the Lunch at Tiffany's, which is way beyond my skill level, I can't even come close to her gauge. I was just thinking the other night, right before I fell asleep, what if you went down needle size and used sport yarn? Like maybe you could make gauge then. Like, I don't know. I do better if I work my own gauge and just do shit that I want to do. It's like this. This fits great. My own gauge. I don't have to worry about it because I can figure it out from my gauge. So, but I was thinking, what if I wanted to put long sleeves on this? And obviously, I would have to maybe make this bigger, do like a German short row sleeve, right? So we get to the bottom, maybe, which I've never done, but I understand the concept of. Which is also why I went, maybe cotton isn't the best thing for this. Like maybe I could make these like a summer version like this for summer where it doesn't need sleeves and it's fine. But I was like, what if I want something with sleeves that also has this crossover? So since that's already started as a wrap, I could just, when I get to where I want it, just connect it like I did this one. And then I would have sleeves that I could then turn into a long sleeve wrapped, you know, clothes. I don't know what to call this. Crossover. I don't know. Reminds me of those Cross Your Heart bras. Do they still make those? I don't know. But I could make the crossover detail and have a long sleeve sweater. So I told you that I bought Cascade to make this, and I also bought Cascade to make that crossover with the short sleeves. I also have enough Cascade in black to add sleeves, but I wanted to make a short sleeve one first and see if it was something I would then want to put sleeves on. Does that make sense? So that is going to be my next project. Probably. Yeah, I'm thinking that will be the first one we do for next month. That'll be our first fall project, will be that ballet shrug. Just because I already, if I'm redoing this in wool, I'm already going to have this whole thing in mind. And so I'm going to look at her pattern and look at this and work out um, the numbers I need. This, of course, is ribbed, so I needed certain multiples. But if it's stockinette, it won't. The multiples won't matter, as long as I know it's going to fit me around the belly, which I won't know. I won't know that because I only know how the ribbed fits around my belly. I didn't think of that. Do you think the ribbed and this would be the same stretch wise? Maybe I'll go up a few stitches just to be sure. I'm not sure. I didn't think of that. But I thought if I'm going to redo this, why not redo the other thing so that I can have that pattern to, do a full length sweater with this little cross detail. So that's what I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean? I have my new glasses on. These are black frames, not red frames. And these ones fit my head. Oh my God, I can't tell you how much I love these frames. Because they don't, no matter what I do, the red ones I do this and they fall off. These black ones, for some reason, they don't move. They stay on your head. It's like, if you've had glasses since you were like in second grade, having glasses that don't move on your face is like impossible. So I love these so much. I want to like order another pair because now I have 2 sets of bifocals. I'll just buy a plain pair. I swap out the lenses. I swap out the lenses all the time, don't you? I just love these frames. I love them so much. Oh my God. Because the bifocal is like $40, but that all might not matter because I'm thinking about getting LASIK surgery in the fall. I'm really considering it. I'm really, really considering it. I'm thinking about it hard. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I have for fall. I will probably still do these tops. Probably still do these tops. I don't know. It's going to depend on what is happening because I do want to be ready for spring. And that's all stuff I can wear under, like the Harvest Cardi and the ballet. If the ballet works, I have a lot of sweater quantities of wool that I can make, and that can be made if I like the fit of I really only need one sweater that I like the fit of. That's really all I need. And then how many of these do I have, guys? Like 60, not kidding. That includes cropped ones, but a lot more than I need. More than I need, but I also have fall, winter, and spring and summer fibers, so it's not like they're all wool. They're all a mix of bunch of stuff. So if I like this wrapped, I love this because it does not make me feel like I'm choking or anything. I absolutely love it, and I don't think it's too low because I got the shirt on underneath, so I think it's fine. I really like it. I really like it. I just wonder if cotton is the best thing for it, and I'm not convinced it is. But like I said, the cotton won't go to waste because I'll make my DK tops out of it, and that'll be fine. Because I have 3, I can do the DK ones without worrying about the yardage, and then probably also have enough to make 3. You think? Yeah, I could probably get. Well, I'll be able to tell when I finish the first cropped one. That'll tell me how much a cropped one takes. So I might be able to make a cropped one and a long one out of 3 instead of 2. I don't see a problem there at all. I don't see a problem there. So then we're gonna redo this in wool. Fun stuff. I'm actually kind of excited. I like designing, but I like designing with a purpose when it's something that I want to have and want to wear and want to make. And I'm really happy with this top. Not so happy with the cotton aspect of it, but I'm happy with how I made it, and I'm trying to figure out how long I need this hole to be. And how that's going to change with the wool, not sure. But anyway, we're supposed to get rain. I'm trying to figure out if that is an airplane. That has to be an airplane. We live near an airport. It's like a private small airport. It's not like a major airport. So yeah, that's not thunder. So what was I saying? When my brain if you were here a couple years ago and I did all those shawls, like boom, 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 got all these shawls out of me. That was like, I could not control that. That just happens. That's what happens. My brain fixates. It's called hyperfixation. Planning fall. Oh, next week is planning August. Is it that late already? What, are you sure? That doesn't sound right. July. What day is it? 12th. Oh my God, you're right. Well, we could do August 2nd as end of that. We don't have to do that right there. That means I've got 2 weeks or so to finish that's not going to happen. Yeah, because the 31st is Monday, so we could do Tuesday, Wednesday, and shoot that day. We could shoot that day. Okay. I don't think next week is going to be planning August. I think it might be a surprise dye project episode. Remember? Yeah. Because that's what I want to do. Yeah. So you're going to get a surprise dye project, not so surprise dye project episode next week. And then we'll do planning August after that. And then the first week of August, we'll do July finished objects, which will get me an extra week to get everything done. All right. That is the end of my knitting content. I don't think I have anything else to tell you. Oh, I chopped my hair off. I did. It's weird because a few months ago, if you remember, I chopped a bit of it off. And then since then, I've been letting this grow out because I don't want to have my mohawk anymore, or my undercut here. Kind of. Now that the gray's coming in, I really want to, it's coming in more, and I'm real excited. I really want to be gray. So I wanted to kind of enjoy the process of the gray coming in and letting my hair grow out all the way and not having to shave it all the time. And it's, at that stage where I hate it. And it was really hard when I'm in the shower and this hair is super long, and I'm trying to wash everything, and I'm like, this is just harder. But I'm not going to go any shorter. When this starts growing out, I'm thinking I'll do an angled bob that I used to have in the 90s. I can't wait till it starts getting cold and I can wear hats and not have to look like I got hair going in like 8 different directions and I feel like a little kid. It's pretty funny though. I don't mind it at all. I just took scissors to it. I didn't even do anything. I was just like snip, snip, whatever. That's how I do. That's how I give myself haircuts. because I don't care. I mean, eventually, when I do the angle bob, I can't do that, but I need all my hair grown out before I can do that, and then I'll go have that done, and then probably that'll be my last haircut for a while, because then it just grows and grows and grows, and I'll do dustings, and that's all I need to do. Anyway, no one cares about your hair. That's all I've got. We have one of my local yarn stores that's not so local is having their yearly like anniversary party thing at the end of the month, and I really want to go to that, but I don't know if I'll feel well enough to go, but I'm kind of wanting to go. So we'll see if I feel good enough to go to that. I'm hoping some of these doctors will have some type of this guy I'm seeing on Friday, I'm hoping will give me a quick yes or no if it's a gallbladder doctor, and I want to see if that has anything to do with the pain I've been having for 5 years, if that could be related to my gallbladder. I would like to know that. Which is basically why because they found polyps in my gallbladder that had been there for a long time, because I found them before when I was very, very young. Like teen, maybe early 20s. And they had those records. So I was like, oh, that's great. You have both of those. So he can compare them and tell me if, what the difference is. And I'm hoping he can tell me something to, if I'm doing anything to bring that certain pain on, and if the pain's related. Because the gastro doc said no. But he was not a swallow specialist, so he's sending me to a swallow specialist, which I called to make an appointment, and it was leave a message and we'll call you back thing, so we'll see. And then I see another gastro doc. The other one I saw that ordered the test that I couldn't do, and I want to see what she wants to do. I don't know if she is a swallow specialist. She seemed to know more than this other doctor, so I'm wondering if she is. Then I won't need the swallow specialist place, because the last thing I want to do is go in and get a whole bunch of more tests. Like, I've already had like 5 tests. You guys can't tell me anything out of all of these 5 tests. I don't want to have any more tests. I just want you to give me something that makes the pain stop. It's been 5 years. Give me a break. Thanks. I'm in rare form today, I guess. Thank you for going a week without me. I hope you had a nice relaxing time. I hope the summer is not too hot. It's been so hot. I'm loving this rainy day. I love rainy summers. It is my favorite. Grody Brody. Oh, also Grody Brody. Remember I told you that was what I accidentally started calling him, and now that's his name. Okay, you know how Bree and Tormund like to eat bugs in the sunroom, and when we let the dogs out the last time at night, sometimes moths fly in, and they have a great time chasing moths all night. Well, last night, Bree caught a moth and was eating it, and Grody Brody came over and stole it from her, and he ate it. So he is officially Grody Brody because he eats moths. Gross. You're so cute, though. I love you. He's doing great. I'm so proud of him, but I'm counting down the 6 weeks when we can start really kicking in that housebreaking. I don't mind, though. Because belly bands aren't a problem for me. He does well. He doesn't have any problem putting it on or taking it off. He lets me do whatever, so I'm totally not bothered by it. I even bought more so I wouldn't have to wash them as often. Because it's like 6, like how am I going to wash 6? That's like nothing in my washing machine. You can't wash them with anything else because they're full of Velcro. Okay, anyway, guys. I'm leaving. What'd I say? Oh, surprise dye project next week, maybe, if I can get my ass in gear, which I'm going to try to do. Actually, I'm going to leave myself a note that I want to do a dye project this week. So, take care of yourselves. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.